Streaming now?
Yes, already streaming.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, good evening to everyone. Greetings to you from the Amateur Radio Society of India. As you all know, that we have the National Field Day and Hilltopping Contest the next weekend, that is 27th and 28th of January 2024. So, in this context, we have set up this webinar, uh, and old man Kiran Padiyar, View to XE, and of course our contest manager, U3 GDS, Girish Das, have consented to speak to all the contestants in special, but all hams in general regarding the operating procedures and general logging, computer based logging, which will make it easier for the newcomers or people who are not familiar with these procedures to go ahead with these things. Kiran Padiyar, V2XE, was the contest manager for Amateur Radio Society of India about 4 years back, 5 years back, I can say. I think from 2017 to 19, if I remember rightly. And so we welcome you all to this evening program. We have over 40 registrations for the upcoming contest the next weekend. Uh, so I welcome, and I think the first session is by Girish Das, who gives the detailed rules and regulations for the upcoming event, followed by the technical talk by VU2 X-ray echo, along with the presentation. So go ahead, Girish, V3 GDS, all yours.
Yeah, thanks, Ramesh. And good evening, all. Am I audible before we start off?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So, good evening, all, and welcome to this webinar. I'm Giri, VU3 Golf Delta Sierra, ARSI's contest manager, and looking forward to all the participants and having fun and making lots of QSOs and lots of learning, most importantly, during this field day that's coming up next weekend. So as of this morning, we have 47 registrations, and so like the title suggests, this is a field day and a hill-topping contest. So we have participants who are going out in the field, and when we say field, it could be hilltop, it could be a beach, a park, and also we have participants coming in working from some forts, any places of significant importance, historical importance. It could be anything. It just allowing you to flex your creativity in terms of location. And of course, hilltopping. A lot of hills have been also chosen. Especially for those who are looking for long distance VHF and UHF communication contact. So that's the. I think KK should go on mute. Background noise. KK.
Yeah, Raja.
Yeah. Thank you. So this year, like last year, we have various, and of course, we also have the home category for those who would like to operate from their home stations itself and chasing all these field day and hill-topping stations. So we have home station categories also. So we have various categories that we have. We have the category A, which is all the HF bands 160 to 10 meters. We have category B, which is VHF, UHF, and 6 meters. Category C, which is the HF and VHF, basically all modes, right? All bands. And the modes are allowed are SSB, CW, and digital. So from a scoring, I mean, we'll put up, it's on the arsi.info webpage. The detailed rules are available, but I'll just quickly walk you through for this, for the rules, especially for the newcomers, right? For contacts made on VHF and UHF, obviously you'll have to exchange your grid locator that you have sent as a part of your registration, wherein the points or the multipliers will be calculated based on the distance between your grid locators, grid squares. And for HF, any contact with a VU ham, Indian ham, staying in India, is 1 point, and any DX QSO is regarded as 2 points, irrespective of the mode. No using repeaters on for UHF or VHF. Repeaters are not to be used. It should be all simplex only. And for those who are operating field day and hilltop, we have what is called as a multiplier. A multiplier is basically we add all the QSO points and then do a multiplication factor. We have a 1.1. Basically, you get 10% extra. For if you are operating on solar or battery, additional 10% if a 1.2, that is if you are staying out in camps. So basically the idea is to encourage more and more out of comfort operations, right? To see how you are prepared, how your equipments are prepared, antenna erecting procedures, and knowing about propagation. So there is obviously a lot to learn from these operations, right? You learn about propagation. You'll be awake, middle of the night. You'll see bands and countries or regions opening up, at weird hours like 2 a.m. in the morning. So, that's the beauty of getting onto the field, right? You'll try out different antennas. You'll see antenna propagation changing, and I'm sure Kiran will touch upon this during his presentation. So the very idea of this is, one, you should have fun, and two, you should also learn, right? And in the process, you also try to score points. We do have plaques which would be given to the top 3 in each of the categories, and in the home category. That's the overall idea. So I think any more questions, probably you can put it up on the YouTube chat window. We can take it up, or you can also reach out to any of us at any point of time after this call, after this webinar. We are always available to help you out. And any questions, you can always reach out. At least I am available on phone 24/7. So I would like to wish all the participants good luck, and be safe. Obviously, you will be out in the open. So take care of yourselves, your equipments, and have fun and learn, and do share your experiences after the contest. For logging, finally, that's the most important thing. Please do submit your logs as soon as possible. For those who are using the experienced ones who are using any digital loggers, ADIF format is good. And for those newcomers, we have uploaded a sample log to the arsi.info/hilltopping webpage. So you can download that and send it to us in that format. It's self-explanatory there. We will accommodate spreadsheet or CSV kind of log. I mean, basically spreadsheet kind of logs, right? This is to encourage those who who are more comfortable on spreadsheet or not using the digital logger softwares, right? I'll take a pause for any questions. Madhu, you can pass it on.
There is one question. There is one question from Murthy to Victor Tango India, whether WIRC bands are included.
WIRC bands are right now not included for this year's contest. That's the info. It's only the regular bands 160, 80, 20, 40, 20, 15, and 10.
Maybe we should mention that on the website.
It's there.
And
It's
also-
there, Manesh.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. And you can just mention a few words on the check log submission, those who are not in the competition.
Okay. Yeah. So again, thanks, Ramesh. Yeah. So for those who are participating but not as a competition, but just looking to support other contesters who are in the field, you also have what is called as a check log, right? Like, for example, now I would also like to participate, but since I'm the organizer, I will still try to reach out to stations, but I will submit a check log, what is called as a check log. A check log is basically saying, you're confirming other person's contacts. So they will get, if they are in the contest, they will get the points and the multipliers. Whereas you will, you are not, eligible in the contest, right? But still you're part of the contest. So a check log is basically used by those who would like to support. So there are, I would request seniors who are there who are listening to this to support other field day stations and hilltoppers to at least by submitting their check logs, right? That way the QSOs are complete and points are justified and they are well deserved actually. So any other questions, Madhu? Yeah, just to add, this we have preponed so as to speak the dates. Generally, it was held, the field day and hilltopping contest was held in the last weekend of February. This time we have decided to push it to, or rather pull it to the end of January. Generally the conditions during this time, are very conducive for DX for VHF and UHF, right? A lot of ducting, atmospheric conditions, they allow for VHF ducting. So you will be able to hear a lot more stations now across the state. And there's also a DX station that is there in this participant list. It's from Sri Lanka. They are operating VHF, UHF, and 6 meters. So, and they will be keen to work Indian hams. So you could, if you are carrying your Yagis out, do reach out. The grid square is there in the participant list. I have shared it. I'll be sharing the updated list again. So look out for their grid square and try to work them. It'll be quite a nice experience and a challenge for you guys to work Sri Lanka. It'll be exciting also, right? They're working out of some hilltop in the northern part of Sri Lanka.
Can I add to it, Girish?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, Ramesh.
Yeah, okay. So, incidentally, RSSL, Radio Society of Sri Lanka, which is the National Society of Sri Lanka, also has announced a VHF contest on the same dates. When I had a conversation with them, they said, they also wanted to take advantage of this particular contest, the VU contest. So, they are also in the contesting mode, but they're only on VHF. Yes, they could also be on HF, but their contest is only on VHF. And so you will definitely find a lot of forest stations trying to work each other for the contest and also trying to work us, who will be DX for them, and for us also there'll be DX. So those of you who have not, had a DX contact on VHF and UHF, on the FM voice mode, and also, of course, you can probably set up your rigs to work FT8 on VHF along with the Sri Lankans. So that will be a good experience for you. Thank you.
Yeah. And for VHF and UHF, and 6 meters, right? You are expected to exchange your grid square, right, along with the RST or RS, right? Whenever you're making, whenever you're exchanging your reports. So, for example, I will say VU2 LU, this is VU3 GDS, 59 MK82 SV or MK82 VT, whatever is the grid square, right? Because that is very important. Your grid square exchange is the one that's going to determine your multipliers for from a points calculation, right? So please be aware of it and log it properly. I would request. HF not needed. VHF, UHF 6 meters absolutely needed.
I have just pinned a link to another YouTube that we have on our channel. This was a presentation given by X-Ray Echo during the 2018 preparations for the Hilltop and field session in 2018. So he has covered all the points that are relevant for this contest also, except for a few changes like site permission from WPC and other things which are now irrelevant. So other details act as a very good reference material. I have put it in the YouTube comments. After the webinar, people can go to that channel also, and they will get exhaustive details on how to plan, what preparations to do, what bands to work when, what antennas they can consider, the logging part of it, the importance of logging, submitting the log. All those things has been extensively covered. It's a 45-minute video, an excellent presentation. So people can go to that and use it as a reference also, Girish.
Sure. Thanks, Madhu. Thanks for the this one, Kiran, the presentation also. Any other questions, Madhu? You see on the group?
As of now, there are no other questions that have come up. I think no other questions have come up. So these are just a few points. Anything else to add, KK?
I think we can have the rest of the questions at the end of the whole session, if there are any. So I think both of them, Girish and Kiran Padiyar, can answer them.
Okay, right. So I think we can hand it over to Kiran for his presentation on how to beat the DX. Let me just have one more look. Okay, Pratik Jha is asking whether about the digital modes for VO3. Go ahead, Girish.
Yeah. This I was expecting this to come up. So see, technically, VO3, digital modes are not permitted. The emissions are not permitted on digital mode, whether it is FT8 or RDTY, as per the license allocations. I'll allow others to correct me if I'm wrong, but it is not, right? So as a contest manager, I didn't want to explicitly allow for it, right? It would not. It would mean it would be encouraged in some sort of a sense. So that's why explicitly it's been called out that digital for VU3, especially if VU3 is not allowed, but in the group. Let me add that in the group, if there is even one VU2, right, you can still operate digital modes. But explicitly, we would rather not allow that to operate. You can operate SSB, and if As a VO3, you are authorized to operate CW. Please, you are feel free to do CW QSOs and submit logs.
Operator discretion to be followed.
Yeah.
Yeah, operators discretion according to their license category.
Category.
The emission power emission modes have to be taken care by the operators themselves. That is what we can say. Uh, I think we will leave it at that. Thank you, Girish.
Yep.
So I think thank you very much, Girish, for this
Yep.
brief note on the contest part of this webinar. Thank you so much. You can probably expect some more questions at the end of the whole session.
Sure, sure. I'll stay on. I'll be on off camera to save bandwidth. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to invite V2XE Kiran Padiyar, who is an expert contester himself, and of course a very good DXer, and has made numerous videos on various kinds of antennas and operating procedures. So he has his own channel. I think some of you may already have seen it. So he has a lot of things to share today regarding the actual DXing part in a contest. So I welcome you to XC, Kiran, please.
Kiran?
Kiran, you can take up.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible, Kiran.
Okay. Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kiran Padiyar, View to X-Ray Echo. I had some other views about additional views about operating DX and doing DX while discussing. Madhu and others had pulled me into this larger forum. Thank you very much, Madhu and everyone like Ramesh, Girish, Krish, for giving me this opportunity today, because some of the aspect of ILTOP and VHF has been shared already, and the reference given. I just want to do another type of a presentation, which I just thought that it would be interesting to you all. On being on the other side of the DX. So normally, when we are talking about any preparations and all that, we see all the aspects of DXing from the DXer's side, that is sitting in home and doing the DX or something. But here, I just wanted to give the perspective of being the DX, because whoever is going on field operation, they are operating special ops type of event. So either it is using the special call or going on IOTA or going to a rare IOTA or a rare type of place. Uh, in that mode, how actually the experience will be different. I just have few slides. I don't have many slides, but I will talk. And also, if any questions are there on the chat window, I will try to answer that in that sequence. Please put your questions on YouTube chat. I will try to answer as it proceeds, or Madhu can moderate those questions. Basically, I just want to start with a casual operator style. Okay, the DXer or the home operator, how actually he feels at home from doing the contact with the distance stations. Normally, one enjoys armchair copy of distance stations, right? Anyone would like to do this with the proper antennas. He would like to reach out as many stations as possible and try to do a leisurely conversations at his own pace, and enjoy that type of pastime. And also, like, sometimes he may participate in a contest, like from home category. he may participate in weekend contests. Lot of contests are there each weekend. There is a possibility that you may jump into it casually to operate that and have take some advantage of learning, as well as improving your antenna systems and rigs and all that. But sometimes accidentally one makes a rare DX contact. Okay, this is a kind of a thing like happens. It happened to me in long years back. I made a contact with the Saint Helena Island when I was not even a DXer. I was on the air on HF, and somebody called responded to me with the ZD7, which is a Saint Helena call sign, which is a very very rare island nation, very small island and island entity. And he responded. I was not even knowing. Okay, suddenly Swam appeared in front of, just after the call, and he was actually a very rare DX. That rare DX actually chased me, or just wanted to have a casual conversation with me, because the Swam, if you, I'm just representing this B Swam out here as a swarm of DXers, the swarm of normal hams around the world, right? They chase, they chase for rare locations, but it happened accidentally. And that person, that ham can be, the casual ham can be just lucky that day, just I was a few years back, right? But what happens, we are talking about these bees in search of the flowers and the honey, extract the honey just like that, right? So we are, the DXers are equivalent to the bees, right, normally. But what we are talking about, this session I'm going to talk in next few slides, is not about the buzzing bees, the DXers themselves, but we are talking about DX flowers, which bloom and attract the bees. So being in the field day or any of these type of special events is like DX flowers. There are a lot of things to consider being on the DX side, not being the DXer, but on the DX side, being the DX. That is the joy of operating on the DX side, right? So that DX was special initially because it was rare. Okay, and sometimes it may be a significance. There is some significant event is there. It may not be just a rare station, but a special event station from a normal country like India have got a lot of special event stations starting with Alpha Tango or 8, starting with 8 letters and all that, right? There are some special significant events which will give the which will with which we can request for special call sign and operate. Then also there is a possibility that we can attract a lot of lot of DXers from outside. So another way is like DX, is also a challenging to chase. If there is a challenge, more significantly, there is always a thrill amongst DXers to chase the DX station. Okay, so rarity, significance, and the challenge, that is what actually drives the DXers around the world to chase a DX station, another DX station. So there are other ways to look at the DX conversations normally, are like having a leisurely conversation, about their life, about innovations they are doing, about technical advancement and all that. Then there is another cult or another division or another speciality of DX chasing, which actually involves rarities or significance of that station, or the actual unique challenge. So when we are talking about that, we are talking about being DX, right? It's about being organized. First foremost thing uh, for being DX is organized. What does it mean, right? Organization means planning well ahead. What you want to do, which locations you want to go, which equipment you want to carry, which accessories you want to carry, all these things, organization, right? And also having a self goal or for the team, what exactly you want to achieve, and enjoy it as a process. All these things, organizational things, are done very well ahead of the game. So if we consider DX being the DX as a game, we have to prepare for that with the complete organization, organized way, in a complete organized way. Okay, without any of the steps not being taken care. For example, if I don't plan for a situation, for a particular locational operation, I may not carry a required length of cable. I may not carry some wires with me. I may not be having a required power supply or alternate arrangement. So planning ahead, selecting the proper location to operate, to be competent, or to be heard in the mass, right? I will come to that, being heard and being establishing your presence separately. But organized way is the most important critical part of any DX operation. So when I say DX here in the context of field contest, it is every field station is kind of a DX for someone. So anyone who is even the QRP can actually make their presence felt worldwide, especially even in the condition of today. We are having a sun flux index, solar flux index more than 170 on an average nowadays. So all the bands are very highly open and in very good condition. I will not go to the very details about each what the plan should contain, because those aspects I have covered in other video which has been linked by Madhu earlier in the comments. Next aspect is establishing the presence, what I call as establishing presence. There are a lot of DX stations. How do you differentiate? How do you actually make yourself felt as you are present? Whether you are a small QRP station, low power station, or a high power actual DXP station, large DXP station, having the presence felt, or making your presence felt across the globe, is very very important aspect. First is organization, next is a presence. Okay, what does it includes? Differentiating, as I said, one has to differentiate first with whatever it is possible. It may be a special call sign, it may be a location which is very attractive. For example, in VHF conditions, tallest hill in the nearby locality of a VHF population, right? Or a very unique way of communicating with array of antennas. Maybe that is a differentiator for the team. Maybe trying out a new SDR radio. Something to differentiate and talk about is very important in presence making. Sometimes the presence is locally or regionally felt. Sometimes the presence can be worldwide felt. And popularizing it, making sure that you are registering with, for example, in this case, we are registering with RC, right? With the contest manager, and ensuring that you you actually popularize that amongst all the communities, all the ham communities, especially if it is iota, if it is a rare call sign, like a special call sign, then you make a web page, qrz.com web page, and put all the details in that and start popularizing. And responsive for the DXS queries. These are all, like, you are actually marketing, you are branding yourself, your team, and yourself in front of the audience, right? You are you are actually trying to create lead in marketing terms. Even before that particular product goes out, you are trying to make a presence felt and importance felt in the masses. So you have to be responsive. If there is a query, you answer them, what actually you are going to do, put your plans upfront, what bands you are going to operate, what modes you are going to operate, what regions you are going to focus on. If you are having, if you have studied propagation for a particular region, You say that we have done this particular exercise. You study that. There are a lot of methods nowadays, like a VOA cap online, which I have captured in another video. But these are the things which everybody has to have some kind of a knowledge around to publish the plans and then operate, right? And then setting the expectations right. That is for the self, for the team, as well as for the DXer crowd. When I'm saying DXer, it is outside crowd. It may be outside your region, outside your country, another entity, another continent, right? So expectation right, that means you don't say I'm going to operate everything under the sun, right? Like I'm going to operate satellite, I'm going to operate HF, VHF, all the bands all the time with the arrays. That is kind of a high level of expectations. If you are setting that type of expectation, something big is expected all over the world. So expectation, setting that right in right direction is very important. These are all the things which you will have to do, because now this webinar is happening 1 week before. I think, I'm sure many of you participating in field day contests have taken care, but I think this is very important aspect. So organization and making the presence felt. Third thing I just want to talk about is setting the disciplines, right? So disciplining in every aspect, whether it is sports or our game, is very, very important, critical aspect to succeed. So this is very important, what actually you have to do, right? Learning to listen, because you are going to a field station, you are going to put up probably your field station is at a very good location, at a very maybe a hilltop or near the beach or a iota station. All these locations has got its prominence when considering your house located in the cities, probably, right? You will hear lot of stations in this low noise locations, and learning to listen to and make a focused attempt to filter out the stations is very important skill. This is not just one day affair, it is like a continuous skill any ham has to build over a period of time, right? Listening to skill, filtering the stations, catching the call signs, understanding what other person is saying, using the right phonetics and all that. Operating split, right? Operating split is another important part of the disciplining game. So if you are having a high stake call sign, a special call sign, and if you are calling a particular frequency on HF, for example, and you are a sort out a special event station or IOTA or a D expedition, split operation is a very important thing. That means, every modern radio nowadays has got a dual VFOs, VFO A and VFO B, utilizing that for listening one VFO and second for the transmit, and ensuring that you use that properly from the beginning of your operation is very important aspect. This is again for the high stake special event stations and IOTA and D expeditions. If you are just operating VHF, UHF, or if you are just focusing on regional contacts, it may not be so much relevant. But I'm just telling that from the preparation standpoint, ham should be very much aware of how to operate the split. If you are a DXer at your home station, you are used to this type of operation. But on the other side, basically, since you are listening on multiple frequencies at the same time using your band scan, tuning up and down, and then you are transmitting on the single frequency, the other side of the world, that is a normal DXer, sitting at home station, he will be able to he knows where to transmit on, he understands where to transmit on in the crowd and catch you. And you have to also follow the patterns of operating. Okay. And also, like, then there is a teamwork. Okay. Teamwork is very, very important in aspect of field operation. If you are more than one person, right, it becomes naturally a team. So team operation, when you are on a team of 5, 10, 20 members, a lot of people will be there, take advantage of their skills, allocating the right type of work for suitable for them, understanding each other, and ensuring that ultimately it is about all about having fun, learning something new from the Elmers, taking care of the new joiners in the team, and all that, right? Aspect will should actually be considered, especially taking care of the new SWLs who are actually coming into the listening mode when you are operating. You are demoing someone. All this type of activities which are normally carried out during the field day events are a completely a teamwork, and everybody has to understand that when you are in a team, you are not just one person. Solo type of objectives we should keep aside, and we should work as a team for the team's goal. And the team's goals should be prepared upfront as part of our preparation in the form of organization, right? Using computer logging, I think I will cover that again. I can show one quick demo, real time demo on my own PC, what how to use N1MM. But this is one very important aspect in any of the contest. I don't think I have to stress a little bit more on this, but irrespective of that, if you are going to make any number of contacts, okay, using a computer logging, using your laptop, carrying the small laptop to your field location, operating that, because it is a uh, typically 36 hours contest or more than 24 hours you are going to be there at that particular field, with some or the other power or battery power involved. Using computer logging gives a lot of advantages, makes log checking also very easy, not cumbersome process. And also it gives the confidence to the operator, the DX operator, that is you in the field, to get to know about how actually you are progressing ahead in terms of the contest, how many people you are contacted, what time you are contacted, and all that, right? So there are multiple ways to log, because there are a lot of softwares in the market which are mostly freeware, right? I personally use N1MM. There are other logging softwares also. As contest manager, Girish has earlier suggested, ADIF file can be submitted, has to be submitted at the end of the contest in a particular stipulated duration. So a very important aspect with the logging is using the right time, synchronizing your computer laptop with the internet, or if you are having a GPS, have the timing accurately, because most of the time what I have seen is laptops actually lag in time after some time if it is not synced up properly. The internet syncing is the best option. You can just go to the calendar and sync it, and then use N1MM or any other laptop which is connected to the rig, or you can do that offline logging also. But use computer logging and supply that logging log to the contest manager after the contest. So these are the few things. And another important aspect is about publishing the QSL policy. So if you are having a special call sign, don't leave it at that, because just because we have been given the privilege of WPC from the WPC for that operation, there may be certain cases where the operator may say that I will not do any QSL, but you have to be upfront, clear to any of the DXS on QRZ.com. It is a good habit saying that, okay, I will not do this, I will do this, I will do electronic logging only, or I will not do the paper QSL, or I will do XYZ type of a method. But any method, any policy which you are having, it is your personal choice, but at least you mention that upfront, so that your expectation on you is not built as a DX station. Because not normally what happens is, if you are not told that, if you get a lot of bureau cards, and you have put the suggestion on qrz.com that you are going to honor any request, then you are expected to do that as a courtesy. But if you are putting that, I am not going to listen for it, I am not going to collect, or I'm not going to respond to it upfront, maybe people may ask on the email that, are you going to send me, I require a QSL card. then you can converse with him. You can tell, you can print one of QSL cards and send if it is required, if somebody is going to cover your cost or whatever it is. But the policy, coming up with the policy for the QSL and establishing that communication mechanism upfront is very, very important, crucial part, especially if you are in a as I mentioned, like if you are in IOTA, if you are in the expedition, if you have taken a special call sign and you are going out, then it becomes even more important to put that policy out. Then I think the final aspect is just like this mouth and the elephant, right? The mouth is actually, we can say that DX station, that is a DX, and elephant I am just representing as the crowd, the DX crowd, right? Other part. So all is about being in control. What is being in control means, right? Control means like if you are having a pile up, normally it happens when you are having a special call sign, like Alpha Tango 3, right? Something. So you are going to definitely attract a lot of pile up. How to actually control that? How to be in control of this? This is very important skill to be developed, because you have to, earlier I said that listening is one of the area which everyone has to improve. Even the SWL, shortwave listener in the broadcast world, broadcast listening has some ability, or he will try to hone that skill. But the AM world, for the DXing, it is very important skill, especially when you are having the special call sign, or if you're on a special event mode. You have to follow a pattern, because without the pattern of pile up control, that means how, where you are listening to, because you are in a controlling seat or a commanding seat, and there are hundreds of people trying to reach you. If you are in a split mode, for example, there would be a split, for every subsequent frequency you will hear another station, right? So how are you going to traverse through this pile up? Are you going to go slowly upwards and answer each call? Are you going to randomly choose some stations and all that? Depends on the way in which you behave. um, that if you are doing too much of randomness into the practice, so I have seen that, in some of the videos, I have seen like some of the people actually do random conversations randomly. They will spin off the tuning knob up and then do it. But what happens is, if you are not following a pattern, DX crowd on the other side will not understand what you are, whom you are responding to, whom they should be, how, where they have to call. So the frequency, when you are saying I am listening up, that means you are, let us say you are on 7060, and you are transmitting on 7060, and you are listening up, let us say you are listening up 5. That means you are listening from 7065 and between 7065 and above, right? So you may be transmitting like that. You may be listening to 7065 and slowly going up and up 1 kc above each time, or picking up the stations. But suddenly if you go down 7055 and again come up and then again say listening up 5, the crowd will not be able to understand what actually you are trying to do. So they will be all over, and soon you will lose the control. But another aspect of this particular pile up is, when we are having hundreds of stations, even tens of stations. Let us say you are calling out for North America for that moment, and if some European comes and respond to you and says, continuously calls his call and tries to break, then you have to actually command over that particular entire conversation, right? Entire QSO, you have to have a control on the pile up there. And immediately you should not, never actually focus on such deliberate QRM guys, right? You have to actually you have to spin up your knob slowly up. If you are listening in split mode, it is very easy. But if you are listening on the same frequency and transmitting on the same frequency, it becomes haphazardous, and you will not be able to have a control. That's the reason, another reason why we have to have a split. So you have to you should avoid going out and including that Europe when you are calling North America, because whatever the focus you have, whatever the geography focus you have during that short period of time, you have to stick to that, so that you have the people engaged, and they know that you are pro operator. You have to work and look like a pro operator in terms of that, right? And always use full calls. Try to focus on full calls of the person. If you are, let us say I am a DX operator, a DX side of a person, view to X-ray echo, if I give the call, and on the special call or field event side, I cannot say, just say view Victor uniform 2. The moment I say Victor uniform 2, there may be 10 other stations who may be coming back. Victor uniform 2, Lima uniform, Victor uniform 3, something like that. It may come back, and it will actually again add a lot of pressure to you, because in these situations, each of the pileup is like a hash, right? You will hear a lot of signals, and you will have to filter in your brains a lot, right? Although there is DSP, noise blankers, everything, that will not help you unless you practice this focusing on full calls and responding. And another aspect which I want to clearly call out is about mashing up call signs. For example, Yankee Bravo 5 Alpha Papa, let us say, and another call in the pileup is Yankee Victor 5 Alpha Tango. Then you ask, who is Yankee Bravo 5 Alpha Papa? Who is Yankee Bravo 5? And then Yankee Bravo 5 Alpha Papa may come back. But if you are mixing the calls, Yankee Bravo 5 Alpha Tango instead of Alpha Papa, both the stations will respond to you again, because you are mixing up the call signs from these two people and trying to call, and you yourself get confused. So it's very important that you have to have a clarity, you have to have a focus during this responding to the callers. Try to use headphones, a good quality listening headphones, whatever you are used to at your station. Use that in, especially in the field, if you are in a windy situation or beach areas or anywhere much crowd is around you. Try to use headphones as much as possible when you want to operate. It will give some more clarity, right? And you are the boss, I would say, right? Like you should be in control of entire pileup. So it is your operation, it is your field activity, no one else should disturb. You have to be humble, you have to be obliging to some request here and there, but it does not mean that you have to allow any pileup to go out of control. It is up to the operator style, to make it or break it. Some operators cannot hold the pile up. Some operators can steer the pile up to the success. Everybody is satisfied. Everybody goes off. But if you're not in the control, a lot of QRM may happen. A lot of people will actually shout at the operator on different frequencies. They will tune around, and a lot of negative comments will come. Right? That's very important. So finally, I would like to end this. It's a joy to be the DX. I said that it is being the DX was the title. I would say that it is a joy. It is a joy to be experienced. Best of luck to you all who are participating in the contest or actually interested in such events in the future as well. Thank you very much. Back to you, Madhu and Ramesh.
Thank
Thank you very much.
you. Yeah, go ahead, Madhu.
Okay, thank you very much, Kiran. Very clean, exhaustive, and informative talk there. As usual, we have seen your presentations before. And for anybody who has got any questions or queries, you can put it up on the YouTube chat. We'll try and answer it. As of now, there is one question. This is directed to Girish. Regarding the log submission, Kunal Gautam has asked what call is to be used for the log submission, the team leader's call or the operator's call. That is part one of the question. The second one is A1A, that is CW, is not allowed for VO3s as per license. Can we use it in the contest? Go ahead, Girish.
Okay, thanks. So, Kunal, for the first part of the call, it will be the team lead's call that has been sent as the registration, right, as a part of the registration. So, that is the call that you will use during the contest and obviously during logging also. If you I mean, there will be a big confusion at our side when individual operators are also sending in logs as a part of the team, right? That becomes a nightmare for us. So it's best to use the team leads call. And for those of you who are using special call, it should be on the special call only. I know there are quite a few. So there is, you have to use your special call. And with regards to the second part of the question, again, like we said before, operator discretion, right? You are expected to follow the band plan and also the guidelines, the NFAP, the frequencies that are allocated to VU hams, right? As per your, call sign and grade. So, and the emissions and modes also, and the power levels, right? So, operator discretion is to be followed.
Okay, I'm sure Kunal that answers your query. This is directed to Kiran. Due to IBI, Prakash wants you to mention on keeping the tempo in during pileups. Kiran, the importance of keeping the tempo in pileups. Go ahead, Kiran.
Okay, so pileups are normally, when we are in the pileup, one has to not to lose any. Um, there are stations who are going to definitely make a QRM. They are going to operate and out of control and interrupt you, trying to interrupt you sometimes because you are not in the flow, right? If it is a SSB, that is even much bigger noise, because a lot of people try to do that on SSB. And if it is on CW, if you are asking about the rhythm is very very important in CW as well as SSB voice areas. All whatever I told is mostly applicable for the areas of SSB and voice, SSB and CW. And for the FT8 and digital, it will not that much matter, because the machines are decoding this information. If they error out, they error out. But in the case of CW, for example, operating around 25 words per minute and above is a norm in contesting and field. But it does not matter if a person is operating at 15 words per minute or so as well. But what matters most is like having the same tempo or same rhythm. So having the same rhythm in play, the DXers will oblige to that, because we are the sought after stations in field day contests, right? So even the local operators, DX in the sense like it can be considered as view operators who are at home also for the field station, or actual DX station outside the country also, right? So all these things matter, because you slowly are in that same mode. You are actually going in the flow. When you are in the flow, your pile up on the other side also will be in the flow. They will not hurry up, because they know that they are get to you in a matter of minutes, or in next couple of QSO cycles. So basically, if you are not with that rhythm, entire crowd, not just one particular person, but entire crowd gets out of control, because they will not know whether they are going to get through. Control, it is basically about a psychology of anxiety, right? You will get anxiety saying that next moment the station may go QRT, the DX may go QRT. So that's why the people are going, or he may go you may QSY to some other band or some other mode. That's why the other side of the world, wants to finish the QSO with you as much fast as possible. So basically, it is about all about being in the flow. uh, Whatever the speed of operation, low speed, high speed, does not matter. You have to be with the speed, but very importantly, not losing yourself. Like, you should not be bothered about much about QRM makers. uh, the QRM will, first of all, will not be there if mostly it is in the rhythm. They will, most of the DXers and most of the hams are well versed with the operating procedures, so they will abide by you if you are in that flow. I hope that answers the question there.
Okay, thank you, Kiran, for that exhaustive thing. Uh, One more query from account name Electronic Curiosities. The same question again about FT8. Like we have mentioned, uh, as a contest organizer, we cannot actually ask you to go out of your license criteria, but it is going to be your call whether you want to operate FT8 or not. So user discretion is to be exercised. Is all that we can say from the organizing committee. And Kiran, probably people who would not have seen how N1MM, the contest logging software, would look. Can probably show a short a screenshot or a small opening of that, and how it usually is helpful for contesting. Would certainly be helpful for people who want to go in for the computer logging.
Okay, sure. Definitely, I will show that. Give me a second. I will just share my screen. Hope my screen is visible. Um, Not sure. Is my screen visible to you all?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. This is a logging software which I use for contest and de-expeditions and special ops. But everybody will have their own, favorite logging software. Either it may be Logger 32 or any other things like HRD Logger or something like that. But this is what I use. I just want to show how actually I use it. So if you are in a contest, basically this is a freeware N1MM plus. I am using it here. So this is a contest logger. So basically you create a new log on this software, and in this case, we can choose a de-expedition mode when you are a field operator. And in this case, like I'm just talking from a HF perspective, right? In the VHF perspective, you can put the grid, received grid in comment, and then submit it also. In this case, you choose other parameters like how many operators are there. Normally, our field operation is low power only. So you choose who are the operator, what type of a mode contest, and all that, and then say create this log. Once the log is created, so then another aspect which you'll have to check is in config menu. You have to just double check your station data. You can just double check on your call sign and who are the operators. Let us say you are along with in a club mode, then you will have to put the club's call sign or a club's email ID, and where are you going to operate. Like this is a grid square which is required if you are in a VHF UHF mode. Otherwise it is not required for the HF. But importantly, you actually check the call sign, and the call sign will help in actually the macros out here for the CW mode. That's it. And once you are in this, then you start typing the calls like VU to LU. I'm just doing this contact, and then since it is not having much more information than sent and received information, you can just put whatever 559 information. If it is a SSB, it is a 59, or whatever exact RS report A is going to give, you can put that as well. Yeah, so this way you can proceed ahead, and once it is covered, then you can export the log. Normally for the contest, we do it for the outside worldwide contest. We do it contest, it is a generate Cabrillo file. But for the RC, if contest manager is expecting ADIF file, you can go to export as a ADF file and then export here. But I don't have right now anything here to export. Otherwise, it will open up the window for me to save the log. That is the only thing which is required, and this is very straightforward logging software, very simple. What will help is connecting your rig to the computer or the laptop via the USB. It will then have a rig control also, so that you don't have to manage frequency of operation here. That is the only thing which I just wanted to show. Madhu.
Okay. Anybody else with any further queries? Because as of now, nothing else has come up. Kiran, or we can wait for a minute before we start the closing remarks there. And Girish, anything to add in the meantime?
No, I mean, I just want everybody to have fun, and learn. These are the two crucial aspects. When we also go out, there's always a learning which we'll try to improve in the next contest, right? So keep that in mind. Note down what I wouldn't say mistakes, but where you could improve. Obviously, all of us make mistakes. Like Kiran said, we could have forgotten some cable, some connector, some wire. So you'll be better prepared next time. You'll have some checklists, and that is the from and also from during operations, right? No, you guys will know how to look for which regions or zones during what time of the day. You can make a note of it and use it for your reference later on, so that you can improve your operating styles and get more QSOs count, right? Because ultimately that's what we're all looking forward to, right? Getting maximum towards the goal, like how Kiran said, right? If you're setting a goal of it could be 1,000 QSOs, or you can say I want to reach out to rare regions. Your goal can be anything, right? What you do to achieve your goal is a learning process every time.
Okay, KK, anything to add for the last closing remarks? KK?
Yeah, Madhu.
I think we have come to the end of the session. No more queries there.
No more. Okay.
Okay, I think there is one more query that's come up. Talk about bandpass filters if using multiple rigs. I think that becomes a totally different topic. Actually, Kiran?
Yeah, what is the question? If it is so,
Bandpass filters for usage in with multiple radios.
is a very specific question in that is very generic. But I would say that okay, if you are in a team mode, if multiple teams are on the same segment of HF, let us say if one station is on 40 and second station is on 20, if there is no significant aerial distance separation between the two, normally in field areas we will be in a confined space within 100 200 meters maximum, right? So in that case, definitely bandpass filters are must to protect each other from harming the front ends. But what I have found is like if you are going QRP, for example, 5 watts or lower, then if you are having a separation and if you are actually having a separate type of a polarized antenna, one horizontal, one vertical, that itself will give sufficient protection. But it is always better and advisable to carry the bandpass filters if you are going to have close operations. And it is also a good practice because you will not be having intermodal mod what is that interferences between the two stations at any given point of time.
Okay, thank you, Kiran. Follow up on that is directed to Girish. This is from Toyota Sierra Bravo Juliet. Is multi allowed for category A?
Sure. It is allowed. I mean, as long as the logs come from under one particular call sign, it should not matter. We are okay with that.
Okay, yeah, they have to just ensure that they are not on the same mode on the same band with multiple stations. That is all that is to be ensured.
one signal per band, per mode.
Okay, I think we have come we're 75 minutes into the webinar. Let us take one last call for any other queries, or then we can pass it to Ramesh and KK and Ramesh for the final remarks. I don't see anything coming up. Go ahead, KK.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Madhu, for passing the over. And thank you, Girish. Thank you, Kiran. A very, very informative session. And I'm sure a lot of us have benefited from knowing all the intricacies and the experiences which you have shared there. So, wishing all contestants a very happy hunting ground. And may you all benefit from this and do well. That's it from my end. 73s. We'll pass it to our president Ramesh for his closing comments. Take it up, Ramesh.
Yeah, okay. KK, thank you very much. First of all, thanks to all the audience, all the listeners on YouTube and the participants there. Thank you very much. This was definitely useful to me as well. I'm sure all these points will be put to use in the upcoming contest as well as in the future, contests for all of you. Thank you, Madhu, for organizing this streaming, from Jitsi to YouTube. Thank you, Kiran, for the last minute, organizing this this webinar, and also including certain other extra points so that for the benefit of the contest. Thank you, Girish. I think from now on, next 15 days, you will have a lot of work next week, and of course, and after that, compiling the logs and putting out on the results. So thanks all. I should also not forget to thank our outgoing contest manager Prakash V to IBI for a continuous coordination and his views upon all the decisions that we have taken regarding the contest and many other matters in the last couple of months. Thank you, Prakash. So thank you all once again. See you next week in the contest. 73. Bye-bye.
We had a peak of 40 viewers at two particular points of time. Currently, about 32 people are still viewing Ramesh.
Thank you all.
Thank you all, and we'll do subscribe to the channel. We'll be putting out more videos in future, and we'll also try to organize periodic webinars like this. Do pass the word around, and do pass the link to this video also to others, so that they can also benefit. Those who have missed, they can also go through the webinar and get details on both for this contest and DXing in general, as Kiran has put it. And also, don't forget to watch the other pinned video in the comments, which is exhaustive on the preparation and planning operation of the field day and the hilltopping contest there. 73, good night to all of you. We'll catch up with you down the log. This is Viota MUD for ARSI closing down. Good night, all.
Yeah, good night. Bye bye. 73s.
Thank you all. Bye bye. 73s.